Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to walk you through a demo of Stageflow, a lead management web application that I built using Google Sheets and Apps Script. This app is an extension of my previous project I worked on, titled CRUD app with Authentication, and I've made several enhancements to streamline the lead management process. You can find the link to that project in the description below. Now taking a look at the app, we can see it presents a list of leads, each with key details such as the name, stage, who it's assigned to, contact information, customer type, lead source, creation date, closing date, and any notes related to the lead. At the top, there's a visual representation of the lead progression stages, which are color-coded and represented by arrow-shaped buttons. These stages track the flow of a lead from lead to contacted, pitched, sent demo, negotiating, and eventually to closed won or closed lost. What's great about these buttons is that they also function as filters. For instance, if you click on closed won, the app will filter and display only those leads that have been successfully converted into customers. One of the key features of Stageflow is the ability to modify a lead stage right from within the table. You just click on the current stage, and it allows you to update it easily using in-cell editing. This makes it super convenient to keep everything up to date without needing to go through multiple steps. You simply click, update, and save, and the change is instantly reflected in the table. Another great feature of the app is its built-in edit history logging. This means every change made to a lead is tracked. For example, if I were to change a lead stage from lead to contacted, the app would log the details of who made the change, what field was changed, and when it happened. This is all presented in a timeline view, giving you a clear history of any updates made to a lead, which is incredibly helpful for tracking changes over time. Before I move on, let me ask you to support this channel by subscribing to it if you haven't already. Stageflow also supports 3 types of users: owner, admin, and standard user. Right now, I'm logged in as the owner, which gives me full access to all the features of the app. Depending on your role, your access may vary, which helps in controlling what different users can do. Let me give you a quick demo. I'll start by creating a new lead. I'll enter some basic details like naming the lead XYZ, assigning it to Flory G, selecting Cafe as the customer type, and adding some notes. After hitting save, the new lead gets added to the table, and we can view the details by clicking on the view icon. Now I'll go ahead and change this lead stage from lead to contacted. I'll just click on the stage, select contacted, and hit save. The stage is now updated, and when I check the edit history, I can see that the change has been logged, showing that the stage was updated by the super admin on today's date. I'll now close this lead by updating its stage to closed won, selecting a closing date, and adding some final notes. After saving, we can go back to the edit history and see that all these changes have been logged. What's great about this logging feature is that it records every field change. So if you update multiple fields at once, all those edits will appear in the timeline. This gives you a full audit trail for every action taken on a lead. If I want to delete a lead, that's as simple as clicking the delete icon. And as I mentioned earlier, these arrow-shaped buttons up top allow you to quickly filter leads by stage, making it easy to get an overview of your pipeline at a glance. I'm really fond of this visual flow because it not only looks good, but also makes the app intuitive to use. The design of these buttons was inspired by Streak CRM, a CRM tool that I'll link in the description below for anyone who's interested. Now, if you want to set this app up for yourself, it's pretty straightforward. First, make a copy of the Google Sheet linked below. Then go to Extensions and select Apps Script. From there, you'll need to deploy the script by clicking Deploy and selecting New Deployment. Choose web app as the deployment type, give it a name, and set the permissions so that it runs as me and can be accessed by anyone. Once you've authorized the script, you'll get a URL for testing, which you can open in a new tab. All right, let's dive into the next step of setting up the users and invitations in Stageflow. The first thing we need to do is clear out any previous records in the invitations and user stock tabs. Once that's done, click on the custom menu at the top. I was supposed to name it differently, and I'll rename it to Stageflow after I finish this video. Anyway, after clicking on the custom menu, select Setup, Add Test Users. What this does is it adds test users. As you can see, it has now added one super admin and 3 test users. Each user is assigned the default password 1234. You can log in using any of the 4 email IDs that were just created. So let's log into the application. First, go ahead and refresh the app. Now, I'll log in as the super admin. Actually, before I move forward, there's one more thing I forgot to mention. Head over to the App Settings tab and click Save Settings to save the schema. Now, if you open the Schema tab, you'll see all the keys and labels, their respective types, and select options for fields. Essentially, the schema dictates how forms are rendered and how tables are displayed. For instance, in the Stage field, I've set the type to Select and made it inline editable. And for the Assign to field, I've specified the option source to include the source, key, and label. In this case, I'm referencing the Users tab for the source, using the email field as the key, and the name field for the label. You can check out my previous videos titled CRUD app and CRUD app with Authentication for a deeper dive into how the schema works. In those videos, I walk through the code step by step and explain how the schema is connected in the code. This will help you understand how everything ties together coding-wise. For example, you can reference drop-down options from a separate drop-down tab instead of hard-coding them into the schema. Now let's refresh the app, and you'll see that everything is working smoothly, displaying all the records just as expected. Next, let me show you how to modify the application to suit your own requirements. I'll walk you through how to rename stages, change colors, or even adjust other features. We'll start by opening the script editor. To fully understand the rest of the code, make sure to watch my previous videos where I break down the code structure in detail. I'll post the links in the description and try to arrange them in a logical order for you to follow along. For instance, you should watch the one explaining authentication code first, then move on to the lead management code, etc. In the script editor, you'll find all the colors for different stages under the lead management mixin file. You can modify the colors here if needed. I probably should have named it colors for stages instead of colors for leads. But either way, this is where you'll make your changes. This method block also handles filtering data by lead status, so you can tweak how leads are displayed based on their stage here. If you want to modify the app based on user roles, like disabling or enabling fields, go to the Approval Mixin file. Here, I have properties such as Show Edit button, Show Delete button, and Show Add New button, along with fields that are disabled for standard and admin users. You can customize which fields are editable depending on the user role. The logic for this is written inside the method called filter data on role basis. For example, in the case of a standard user, I've disabled the created on and name fields. You can modify this logic as per your requirements. This method also includes a logic for assigning select options to fields like Assign To. If you'd like to change role-based editing or filtering, this is where you'll make those changes. Now let me quickly log out and log back in as one of the standard users, Priya. You'll see that Priya can only view the leads that are assigned to her, and this demonstrates the role-based filtering in action. And that's a basic overview of how this application works. If you'd like a more customized version or additional features, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the next video.